Hi girls. So today I'm back with another story, and this time by a very famous author called Ruskin Bond, and it is titled The Adventures of Toto. Now let me give you a brief introduction about the author. Well, better perceived as the Indian William Wordsworth, Ruskin Bond was born in Kasauli in the then Punjab province in the year 1934. Born to a first-generation British migrant, Bond spent most of his childhood in amidst Himalayas. He was brought up at different places that included Jamnagar, Dehradun and Shimla. As customary in that period, he went to England for his primary studies. Although Bond was studying in England, his mind rested in India. He had forged an intimate relationship with the Himalayas and longed for it. He is very quiet by nature and stays away from the attention of the media in a small hill station in India, and when asked once about how he feels living in India, he said that it was stressful in practical sense as compared to England, but at the end of the day, India is home to him. Having said that, let me now narrate the story for you. The story is based on the experiences of people who keep animals as pets. It shows that not all animals can adapt themselves to human way of life. It requires a great deal of patience and skill to train them. This story took place many years ago, and this is how it goes. The narrator's grandfather loved keeping pets at home, so much so that he had a small private zoo. One day, he came across a pretty red monkey who was tied to a feeding trough by his master, the Tonga driver. The monkey had bright, sparkling eyes with mischief beneath the eyebrows. His teeth was pearly white, and when it smiled, it frightened the life out of Anglo-Indian ladies. His hands, which looked dried up like as though it had been pickled in the sun, had fingers which were quick and wicked. His tail, which added to his good looks, also served as his third hand. Grandfather instantly took a liking for this monkey and paid the Tonga driver ₹5 for him, which was a lot of money then. The narrator and his grandfather decided to keep Toto a secret from his grandmother for now, until she was in a good mood, since she always fussed at the sight of new animals or birds. Then they put him away in a little closet opening in his bedroom wall, where they tied him to a peg fastened into the wall. A few hours later, when the two of them came to release Toto, they found everything in a mess. Toto had ripped off the ornamental paper off the wall. School blazer was thrown on the wall, and it had been torn into shreds. The narrator was worried, but grandfather found Toto to be clever. He felt that if Toto had more time, he would have sewn the torn pieces of the blazer into a rope and escaped from the window. So now they transferred him in a big cage to the servants' quarters, where a number of pets lived sociably together: a tortoise, a pair of rabbits, a tame squirrel, and pet goat. But Toto did not allow them to sleep the whole night, and so grandfather, who had to leave for Sharanpur to get his pension, decided to take him along. So the next day, Toto was put in a big canvas bag which had some straw at the bottom of it. When the bag was closed, Toto could not get his hands through the opening since it was too strong for him. His efforts to get out only had the effect of making the bag roll about the floor or occasionally jump into the air, an exhibition that attracted a lot of curious crowds of onlookers at the Dehradun railway platform. When grandfather was producing his ticket, Toto suddenly took out his head from the bag and grinned at the frightened ticket collector, who then asked grandfather to pay for it accordingly. Since the ticket collector classified Toto as dog, the grandfather, after much discussion, finally gave up and paid ₹3 as Toto's fare. Irritated, he took out a tortoise from his coat's pocket and asked if he had to pay for it too, to which the ticket collector replied, "No, sir, since it is not a dog." When Toto was finally accepted by grandmother, he was given a comfortable stay with the family donkey, Nana, in his stable. But he continued teasing Nana, and so they could never become friends. Toto loved taking bath in hot water in winter. One day, he nearly succeeded in boiling himself by jumping in a large kettle that had been left on the fire to boil for tea. It was grandmother who rescued and saved him. Toto continued his antics by tearing clothes to shreds, breaking plates and other utensils. Everyone in the family got fed up with his mischievous activities. Even grandfather began to think seriously about him. And finally, he took a hard decision to get rid of the monkey. He found the same Tonga driver and sold his Toto back to him, only for ₹3. So that was a story for you. And the moral of the story is, one should behave responsibly in a good environment.